The lack of rain here has plagued farmers for decades, but new rural development initiatives are seeking to provide farmers with knowledge to resist the advancing effects of climate change. Farms like this one in the province of Haouz near Marrakech have benefited from Moroccan government grants to develop subterranean drip irrigation systems that reduce the amount of water required for plants. The International Fund for Agricultural Development provides technical support and helps to teach farmers how to increase and diversify their products in a sustainable way. Abdel Salam Batra has been working these lands since 1987. We've gone through hard times. During those hard times, we used water from the Sakuya River, and it was a difficult process because it was time-consuming, it didn't yield much water, and it was expensive. Now, since the will was drilled, we've started benefiting more. Because of the olives, we've been able to have a source of income. And because of the fava beans and green peas, we've been able to live off them as well. But in 2000 and before, times were very difficult, and the droughts had a negative impact on things. In areas like these, the government's teamed up with international organizations to strengthen communities' resilience to climate change by also protecting soils from erosion. Where torrential rainfall has torn deep ravines into the landscape, destroying vegetation and sending sediment down into the valley, mountain terracing has been planted with thousands of trees. Abdel Salam El Fouzi is an agricultural engineer from the government who worked on the project.
C'est important parce qu'il y a beaucoup de précipitations.
It's important because there's a lot of rainfall, there's torrential rain, and then there's a loss of soil. So to keep and stabilize the soil, we used fruit trees. The restoration you see here is a joint action between agricultural development and soil conservation activities through these terraced fields and fruit trees. With more than 60% of the Moroccan population now living in urban areas, another challenge has been to provide incentives to stem the flow of people towards urban centres. The International Fund for Agricultural Development's been working to teach farmers how to create cooperatives to better market their products. In this olive oil cooperative, farmers manufacture their own olive oil and other byproducts, such as soap. The cooperative also produces honey and meat. When new agriculture was introduced into the region with the introduction of new technological tools, it's made things easier in terms of the production of olive oil. It's improved the way we extract the oil, and it sells well in the market. And rural women have benefited. They now have their own sources of income. They don't wait for their husbands to give them anything. And thankfully for these efforts, olive oil, honey, meat, soap, now women don't have to rely on their husbands to buy medicine for their children, for example, or to pay for their schooling. She has money in her pocket. Almost 200 nations at 2 weeks of talks on climate change in Marrakech agreed a statement last Thursday that the fight against climate change was an urgent duty and irreversible. The Paris Agreement's been ratified by 111 nations so far.